All right, so for today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the Klein Tools D502-10 and -12 tongue and groove pliers. Now, this is Klein's version of the well-known channel lock pliers or tongue and groove pliers. This is just Klein's version of them. And like channel lock, these are made in the US. And are relatively similar to channel locks. There are a few things that are a little bit different. So we'll go ahead and, get this 12-inch pair out of here, and we'll go ahead and take a look at the 10-inch pair. Now, they operate and function just like a normal pair of channel locks. Sorry about that, hit the camera there. But they operate just, like a normal pair of channel locks. They open and close. Now, the one thing I have noticed about these is the connection on them is a little loose. You can see right there that I'm able to freely move both parts of the plier, or at least one part of the plier, quite a bit. There's quite a bit of play in there. When you compare it to just, a standard pair of channel locks I have right there, this is a 10-inch pair to go along with the 10-inch pair that we're taking a look at. You can see that there's not as much play, and these, when you compare it to the Klein, you can see that that piece, or that one handle, or the one part of it has an awful lot of play in it. But you do have a nice, the nice yellow dipped handles. They are kind of comfortable in the hands. Dipped handles, they are, a toss-up. Sometimes they can be comfortable. Sometimes they, if you're using the tool for a prolonged period of time, that can cause a little bit of fatigue in your hands. I never really have had a problem with the channel locks, and these feel somewhat comfortable in the hands. And they do feature the yellow handles, which is nice. And then you do have the Klein Tools right there, and then you have your model number and made in the USA. And then you also have some safety warnings that are laser etched onto the tool. And on this side, you got your big rivet there on the back that kind of slides the jaws up and down on the tool. And then you look on the business end, you can see you have some somewhat nice teeth there on the front. But now, like I said, the one thing, when you have the pair of pliers sitting like that, you can kind of see that there's one heck of an offset for the jaws. They don't quite lock down nice and straight. And we'll go ahead and bring in the channel lock again. These I've been using quite a bit, as you may be able to see. But when you take a look there at the channel locks, you do have a slight bit of offset on the handles, but it's not as noticeable as the Klein. It's a little noticeable, but it's not like as bad, I would say, as the Klein. And like I said, these are not as loose as the Kleins are. And then another thing that I have noticed about Klein's tongue and groove pliers compared to channel locks is when you take a look at the heads on them. You see the channel locks, they have a nice thick, kind of like a meaty head, and on the Kleins, you kind of have that. It's not as thick of a head, so by the looks of that, you're not going to be able to I don't think you're going to be able to put as much force down on them for if you're really gripping on and you're really pulling on maybe some gas pipe or some conduit or whatever you're going to be using them for. Maybe you're trying to grip onto a bolt. You're not going to be able to get as much force on there compared to the channel lock. You got that nice thicker head, and I think that is one of the most common complaints that I see about these tongue and groove pliers from Klein is people buy them because they make some pretty good alignment pliers, diagonal cutters, needle nose, and things like that. That's what they're known for. So people buy these thinking that they're going to be the same quality. And then, like I said, the most common complaint that I see about these is the head not being as thick as the channel locks. And I see a lot of people that either end up breaking the top jaw or the bottom jaw just from gripping onto a lot of metal. And we'll go ahead and take a look at the bottom jaw. So that is the thickness of the bottom jaw on Klein's. And then you can see on the channel locks, you definitely have that more beefier grip. So that is one thing to consider when you are looking to purchase, or if you are looking to purchase these over the channel locks. That is a couple things you may want to consider thinking about before buying this. It's depending on how much you are going to use them. If you're going to be using them for, some sort of piping, whether it's running gas line or you're using it to tighten, maybe you're just going to be using these to tighten down some fittings or whatever, and you're not really going to be putting a lot of torque on them, these might work for you. But I know, like, if you're running gas pipe, half inch, 3/4, and possibly 1 inch. You might want to consider, if you're trying to use that 1 inch, getting like, you know, the 12 or a 12 inch or a larger pair than the 10 inch. But that's something you want to consider when purchasing these. I don't think I've really seen too many videos on these, hence why I decided to make a video on them. Kind of wanted to compare them to the channel locks. That's kind of why I picked them up. I kind of thought maybe that channel lock was making them for Klein, but it appears Klein is making these themselves. Now, if you're not a fan of the dipped handles, you can get the, I believe they sell these with the Journeyman style handles. I don't think they offer all the sizes. I think I've only ever seen them with the Journeyman style in the 10-inch size. I'm not sure about the 12-inch size, but I do also think Klein offers, I know Klein offers a 16-inch version of these, and then I think they also offer, it's either a 6 or an 8-inch pair of these, so it'll be a little bit smaller than the 10-inch. Like I said, if you're looking to get into these over channel lock, those, you know, you got 4 options for tongue and groove pliers. But with that being said, that's kind of about it for this video. If you want to learn some more information about these pliers, I will leave a link down in the description below. That'll take you right on over to Klein's website. And I will also leave a couple links in the description below if you are looking to purchase these for yourself. But with that being said, that's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching.